guys, and welcome to the weekly love reading. So these go up every Friday and we're looking at the next 7 days ahead, okay? So regardless of when you're watching this, you are looking at the next 7 days in your love life. We're looking to make some predictions, figure out what's going to be going on, what to anticipate, maybe what to avoid, and all of that good stuff, okay guys? If you are just tuning in, I post videos regularly. So if you like this, you might want to subscribe. And for those of you who are returning, you guys know that I love you guys so much. You are so awesome. All right, so everything you need to know about me and this video is going to be in the description. So that means, you know, the timestamps and all of that is going to be there, okay? Also, I just have one little announcement. Just been doing it on all my videos this week because I have new email readings for private readings. And because, how do I say this? The price is, I guess, more... basically, you can save money by ordering an email reading instead of a video or live reading. I want to make sure you guys know that that's an option. I even have a same day email reading, and through the rest of May, you can use the code email me and get 20% off any reading. It doesn't matter if it's email or not. Just making sure everybody knows about those email readings. So that said, let's go ahead and look at what is coming up for you this week in love. All right. So pile number 1 is the pink rose quartz heart. Pile number 2 is the purple fluorite. Pile number 3 is the blue lapis lazuli. Pile number 4 is the white opalite. Pile number 5 is the gray and red bloodstone, and pile number 6 is the black heart. So if you have not picked your pile yet, go ahead and pause the video so that you can kind of think about, you know, what you want to pick. And otherwise, we're going to start with pile number 1. So get ready to hear about what's going to be going on with you. All right, hi, those of you who picked the pink rose quartz heart, here is your reading. Okay, so we have kindness, we also have detachment, the Queen of Pentacles, the World, and the Nine of Pentacles. So we've got money affecting your relationship this week, okay? What's interesting, I actually feel like money is going to be affecting it positively though, okay? So that's an interesting one. Okay, we have the cross followed by the anchor. That's good. And then we have rebuild. So you guys might have recently gone through a kind of a difficult period. You know, for those of you who are thinking about a specific person, it might have been like a kind of difficult period of time. And it's like right now you are working on that, which is great. If you are in that camp, everything looks really positive. Okay, except we have this detachment, which can sometimes come across as maybe somebody not caring as much or not being as present. It's just someone in this connection, it actually might be you, doesn't want to get hurt. So they're trying to keep things at arm's length until you're ready to kind of step into that relationship. But let's go ahead and start at the very beginning for the whole audience, okay? So when I'm looking at this reading this week for you guys, what I'm seeing the most is that you're going to be feeling really stable in this relationship. You're going to be feeling really stable in your love life. For those of you who don't have a specific relationship, you're going to be feeling really stable. So now is definitely a time to, I would say, get a good perspective on things, because I'm just not seeing a whole lot of emotional turbulence or emotional. Sometimes when we're talking about love, emotions can really get in our way of seeing accurately. And because I'm not seeing that here, I'm not seeing that emotion. It's showing me that you guys are in a really good detached, like this detachment, right? In a good detached way where you are able to see people more clearly. You're able to judge their intentions and their motivations easier. So you're in a good place to, I guess, shop, I guess, for lack of a better word. For those of you who are asking about a specific person, you've got someone in mind. Again, like I said, money, material might be affecting your relationship this week. In fact, I would say I'm almost certain that that's what this means, okay? Either way, you guys have the ability, regardless of which camp you fall in, to really get what you want this week when it comes to what you want in your love life, okay? And for some of you guys, understand that might be getting a certain person to ask you out, and for others it might just be, you know, finally my partner is starting to give me what I want, you know, that kind of stuff. So with the world, we're talking about that kind of thing. We're not getting the more emotional side of, you know, sometimes the world can come through letting us know that someone thinks that you're so amazing, that you're like their world and that kind of stuff. I'm not getting that heavy emotional thing. I'm just getting that you're going to get what you want. This is for the audience. Again, the detachment is like, it doesn't even really feel negative. It doesn't feel like somebody's detached from you and you're upset about it. It just feels like keeping things at arm's length. And again, it feels more like if there's a person in this relationship that's doing this, or if there's a person that is doing this in their love life, they're doing it because they don't want to be hurt. And it's more likely the audience member than the person they're thinking about. But it's just understand that there's that detachment, but there's also what you can get out of it is making certain that you are looking at your situation with a detached perspective, because you can gain so much insight and so much information that way. Kindness, this is just your advice card. Make sure that you're being kind to people. Make sure that you're being kind to everyone. Somehow that's coming back to you in your relationship, okay? And you know, make certain to, if you have some issues that you need to talk to your person about, make sure that you are maybe leading with something that is sweet, telling them what they're doing right before you get to the part where you're telling them what you're not liking so much, that kind of thing. But I don't feel like this is going to be a major thing. It's just kind of something to keep in your mind the next 7 days, okay? So this rebuild, I feel like, sorry, I got two things here. Some of you guys have been doing a lot of shadow work, and you are starting to repair yourself, like heal yourself, after doing some really tough, deep diving into your emotions and your soul, you know? And I feel like this is just, you're feeling more empowered, okay? For others, it's just, this is talking about building your relationship up. It's like the two of you are building each other up. If you have a person in mind, that person will probably be encouraging you a lot this week. Also make certain to encourage them as well. Right now is a good time to do that. And then we have this kind of spiritual connection here. I mean, and that's exactly what I'm getting from this. We've got the cross, which it can sometimes represent a burden, but I'm not getting that for you guys, okay? I just do want to be clear that this can sometimes mean that, but I'm not getting that for you guys. I'm getting the cross as being a spirituality thing. It's like a spiritual connection. It's really anchored in that spiritual connection. So, even though we have these coins, which I tend to associate so much with the material world, like being very much in your senses, right? We still have this overarching feeling that there's something that's like meant to be this week for you that is going to help you feel more stable. In fact, the anchor and the coins both talk about stability. So that's another thing, that's another piece that makes it feel like so much more calm this week for you guys, okay? Another thing that I'm getting, even though we do have you reaching a goal that's really important to you, I'm actually not getting a whole lot of activity this week for you guys, okay? So if you're waiting for somebody to like make a move, or if you're looking for something to change this week, it feels really steady. So I feel like things are going to continue on, but your person or you're going to be wanting to build up the relationship more, okay? So that's what's going to increase, but I'm not seeing a major change this week, okay? Still, very smooth, very good, nothing negative here, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope your love life is wonderful the next week, and I will see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the purple heart, here is your reading. We've got forgiveness and we have boundaries. All right. King of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, the Three of Swords, and then Strength. Okay. All right, so we have the Storks followed by the Key. And choose your battles. Okay, so this week for you guys is really about you setting the tone for your relationship this week, okay? For those of you who are in relationships or thinking about a specific person, you're going to be the one more in control of setting that tone, okay? For those of you who are like, just what's my love life going to be like? Am I going to meet someone? That kind of thing. It's similar, but it's more about looking at what you want. So let's go ahead and start off with these. So with the Strength card, I really want to highlight that this is feeling like it's not only are things really balanced, but also that you guys are communicating really well. If you're thinking about a specific person, you're really on the same level right now, and so now would be a really good time to communicate just about anything. It's sometimes I talk about communicating about maybe more cerebral things versus things of the heart, you know, that kind of thing. But at this point, we've just got communication all around every area. Okay, so if you guys work together, it'd be great to communicate about work, your working relationship, you know, that kind of thing. For those of you who don't have a person, right now you're really good at being understood. So understand that the kinds of people that you're talking to will understand what you're wanting, okay? So make certain that you're being very clear about what you want, so that you can attract the kind of person to you that you've been wanting, okay? With the Knight of Pentacles, we do have somebody moving slowly, okay? I don't think this is going to be the audience. Those of you in the audience that know that it's you, it's going to be very obvious it's you, okay? So we've got someone moving slowly. And then we have this past pain. I feel like for some of you guys, this is going to be brought up by someone in your life. It might not even be your partner, but just something in the past that's caused you a lot of hurt that has to do with your love life, okay? That has to do with maybe the way you approach love, the way that you've been taught to love, that kind of thing. And it's going to bring up some pain. It might be a repeated argument you have with somebody about like a repeated argument you have with your person about something, and it's just going to come back up, and it's like, gosh, I've got to deal with this again, that kind of thing. But for most of you, it's going to be some kind of general idea, and it's going to be something that you're going to need to kind of like look at within yourself, okay? So again, we're talking about like getting real clear about what you want and going after what you want. You know, again, that talks about you guys setting the tone, not your person, okay? So if this argument comes up, instead of like continuing that cycle, because I noticed that the same arguments come up when two people are stuck in some kind of cycle, you can really just use this to explain what it is that you want. And that will be very effective, okay, in this particular situation. So yeah, we've got choose your battles, given that that's coming up, and we also have boundaries that I haven't talked about yet. It does look like there could be a little bit of I'm not getting an all-out fight. I'm just getting bickering, that kind of thing. So choose your battles. Understand that there are certain things that you've got to be real firm about, and then there's some things that you can kind of let it go and just wait and see what's going on here. You know, is this person going to continue to be a way that I don't like, or a way that I do like, or are they going to change somehow? You know, I just feel like you guys are really wanting to observe what's going on this week a lot. With boundaries, you know, I actually mentioned this in one of the readings on Monday, about how boundaries is about changing your own behavior, not about changing the other person's behavior. For example, sometimes when they're like, okay, I need to set a boundary, like what they say is like, okay, don't call me after 8, okay? And then the person will call them after 8, and then they'll answer the phone, they'll be like, I told you not to call me after 8. You're not respecting my boundaries. So that's not a good example of how to set a boundary. A really good example of how to set a boundary is to say, I'm not gonna answer my phone after 8, okay? So just know, if you call, I'm not gonna be answering it after 8 o'clock. You need to call me earlier. That way you're changing your own behavior, not the other person's behavior, in order to give you more power in that situation, in order to give you more peace, in order for things to be more healthy for you. Maybe you're like me and you like to get in bed at 8 and start reading, you know? That's the kind of situation that I'm talking about, you know? With boundaries, it's always about changing your own behavior so that you're not enabling somebody to take advantage of you. And while that can definitely have to do with your love life, it can also have to do with just the way you treat anybody. Understand that energy you bring to all of your relationships is going to affect every single one of your relationships, even your love life, okay? So maybe this is your cousin or your mom or your best friend or somebody else that you've got to set a boundary with, but that energy will get you more empowered, okay? So keep that in mind. We have the forgiveness card again, so I'm just kind of going back to this idea of bickering. It's like, I feel like the forgiveness isn't really talking so much about forgiving something that happened as much as it is forgiving the person for being human. Like we're human, so by definition, we're going to make mistakes. We are not perfect. We can't be 100% all the time. My goodness. If I could do that, I'd be like a superhero. So definitely can't do that, right? But forgiveness is more about accepting that another person is human and they're gonna make mistakes, and whatever mistake they made that affects you or that has affected the relationship is something that they sincerely don't want to have happen again. If you are able to very confidently say, this person made a mistake and this person clearly doesn't want it to happen again, then that is a situation that's definitely worth your forgiveness. Now, of course, there's going to be all sorts of nuances, and you know, whenever anything like this comes up, in my mind, I always want to say, especially to you guys, don't stay in an abusive situation. There are resources for you. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who messes up in a kind of an everyday type situation, okay? Not someone who is being repeatedly abusive, okay? Because forgiveness is one of those things that happen in abusive relationships, unfortunately. Things that are not healthy are being forgiven instead of things that are sincerely a mistake and that kind of thing. So I just do want to mention that. So yeah, we've got forgiveness. We also have forgiveness here in this position in the reading, where it's like, this is also your advice. So to help the situation, to help heal the situation, it might be a situation that needs forgiveness. It's not getting it. So do keep that in mind as well. So we do have a change coming up for you guys, or at least we have movement. Okay. In the movement, the change is going to be the answer to what you've been looking for. So I want to go back to the Knight of Pentacles. So we've got somebody moving slowly, okay? And again, I think that that's going to be your person, not you. But if it is you, you'll know, like, absolutely, it is me, definitely. So with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, I almost kind of feel like there might be a waiting thing that's going on, where you're waiting for somebody else to do something, or you're maybe waiting for that right person, or whatever it is, right? And it does have to do with a person. We've got the Knight here, okay? So it is a person. And this is showing you that you're not going to have to wait for whatever this is, because there's something else that's going to give you what you're waiting for in a different way. This week when it comes to your love life. So it might be a piece of information. It might be a sudden it might be a sudden flash of brilliance, some really like lightning cool thought that you have. I'm trying to think of the aha moment. Some people call it that. yeah, but like there's something that's going to kind of open up for you. But it feels really calm and nice. Speaking of calm and nice, I'm actually getting, even though we have some cards here that are kind of talking about a little bit of not so pleasant experiences, like maybe not getting along so well, bickering, that kind of stuff. I'm actually getting that this is a pretty calm week. I'm not getting a whole lot of emotional turbulence. And it's interesting because the first reading I got the same kind of energy. So I think that's really interesting. But yeah, remember, the boundaries is about changing your own behavior. And this is your superpower this week, is you are able to be understood very easily. And if you're one of those people that feels like it's very difficult for people to understand you, this is going to be a really, really awesome week for you, because people are going to be getting it. And that's so important. So that's so important. Yeah. So thank you so much for stopping in to see what's going to be going on in the next 7 days. Regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the blue Lapis Lazuli, here is your reading. We have purpose, quality time. Okay, big week. Judgment, the moon, the Two of Wands. We have a beginning and an ending here. And then we have the heart chakra. Okay. So yeah, we have you in a situation this week where it's going to really feel emotional this week, okay? Knowing that you can take that emotional energy and you can really focus it to what your goals are, what your purpose is in this situation, so that you're fulfilling that purpose and that alone. Because sometimes when we have our emotions flowing a lot, we can sometimes overindulge in them, and it feels like we need to do more, and that can really wear us down. So right now, just set the goals that you want for your relationships this week, and just live up to that. You don't have to go beyond that, okay? And I'm also getting that, like, there could be a little bit of a imbalance right now between you and your person. Maybe you're working a little bit hard on it and your person's not showing up as much. So it will also give your person an opportunity to come forward. This quality time's coming up, and I feel like this is, for some of you guys, this is going to be, yes, with your person. You and your person are going to be spending really, really quality time this week, and it's going to be really nice because it's what both of you need. But I'm also getting that we're talking also about, like, self-love, like quality time, like giving yourself some time to kind of, giving yourself some time to just relax. So make certain that you're taking care of yourself this week. Again, especially with those emotions being kind of high, it can be nice to just help ease any kind of stress, so we're not allowing our emotions to kind of rule us. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting. I understand that not everybody is in a situation where, when they have really powerful emotions, that they like feel that they have to give into that. I know that. I'm not like, I want to make sure that I'm not sounding like I'm making a judgment call about that. The reason I keep saying that is it feels like your emotions are going to be very incessant. I don't know what the right word is, but it's like they're going to be pulling on you a lot this week, like telling you to do things that might not be the most wise thing to do. So sit on things before you act this week. Okay, with the moon and judgment, both of them here, we do have a lot of intuition as well going on. Your heart's open. This is in a healthy position though, okay? Your heart is open, and so the energy exchange can happen between you and the rest of the world, okay? So on that heart level, regardless if it's your person or someone else, you are sharing and receiving love a lot this week, okay? So do keep that in mind. But we also have this real, like, this huge sensitivity and this feeling of being called to do a certain thing with the Judgment, which, you know, shows me that this purpose card really, I mean, it's almost like there's a certain thing you're supposed to be doing this week, and it's like you've got to live to that thing. That's the most important thing this week. You're being called to do that. Your intuition's telling you to do it, and all of that. But you got to make sure that you're doing it with wisdom, not just with your heart. And when I say that, I mean, make sure that your executive functioning, your cerebral side, is also in agreement that this is a good idea, right? But it's just, I feel like some of it is going to just feel really mystical as well. Sometimes as I'm doing these readings, I hear myself and I'm like, my goodness, Cassie, you are being so vague. And I just want to say I acknowledge that, and I wish that I could be more specific, but I think that you guys will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so it's interesting because we have a door opening for you with this. You know, we've got you going out and learning more information, and also being able to be more passionate because this door is opening, right? And to kind of echo this, we've got the Child here. We're talking about something new, where you're starting something new, but there's got to be an ending too. And it's like, oftentimes I'll tell people, you know, don't worry about the ending because it's so something new can come in. It's really interesting because I feel like the new thing has come in right before the ending is about to happen. So most of you already know what this ending is supposed to be. But sometimes I see this in relationships where somebody has started to change, and then for example, this week might be that time where your person's gonna do that change, and it's an ending to that old way that you guys were doing it, and now you're starting a new thing. Or it could just be that you've started a new thing, and because you've started something new, it could be like going to a group or a club or something like that. You know, it's just something that affects your love life, that you're going to stop doing something else, okay? So for example, you know, I've decided to start attending a book club online, so I'm not going to have enough time to I don't know, go to my knit night every night, you know, something like that. I'm pretending I actually do not go to a knit night anymore, but you know, it's something like that. So yeah, it's interesting that this new thing followed by the ending, it's usually the opposite. And yeah, whatever it is that you're doing, you are gaining a lot of information. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you're looking to like maybe learn a new language, or like learn to cook a new kind of cuisine, because it's like, it's a worldly thing, it's a cultural thing. That's a better word for it. It's a cultural thing. And this energy is bringing something to your relationship that's positive. So it could be something you're doing with your person. It could even mean taking a trip. I'm just thinking at the time that this particular reading is going up, that's not as accessible because of the virus right now. So I just wanted to kind of mention that. But yeah, it really feels like you are going to be getting a lot done when it comes to really clarifying for yourself what you want in a relationship, in the relationship you're in this week. So that is where your focus is this week. All right, guys? And remember that quality time. Just to be safe, make sure you're doing it with yourself and with your person, okay? If you have the ability to do that with your person as well, okay? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, regardless of what the cards say. I hope you have a wonderful love life for the next week, and I will see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the white opalite. We have cooperation. We have contract. Oh my goodness, you're going to have a really good week because we've got the Lovers, the Six of Cups, the Page of Cups, Okay, we've got the mountain followed by the fish, and then we have seeking the truth. Okay, so if you're in a situation with your person, I feel like a lot of you guys that have picked this pile actually do have a person. Whereas sometimes I feel like there's more half and half, or more people that are more single who pick piles. But if you are single and you picked it, I'm still got a message for you too. I just feel like right now is a time between you and your person where you are, you guys are communicating better. It's easier for the two of you to get along, especially with this cooperation and this contract. It's like, okay, yeah, you're in the right place right now, regardless of whether or not you have a person. You're in the right place. It's almost like you've got some kind of soul contract right now going on, where you are supposed to be right here. Okay, whoever you're thinking about, if you're thinking about a specific person, that's the person you're supposed to be concentrating on right now. Okay, if you are not thinking of a specific person, then you're not supposed to be thinking of anybody right now. But there is some kind of divine force that's pushing you together with your person, okay? And regardless of whether or not you actually meet that person this week, you still have this divine force trying to get you and your person together, okay? So with the cooperation, make sure that you are being super friendly and super nice to people, because when you're cooperating with other people, they're seeing you as somebody who basically is not an opponent to them, right? And cooperation can be, it can be great for all sorts of other wonderful reasons. And it's important to say, of course, working together to get something done is a beautiful thing and all of that. But the cooperation is coming up. They're telling me, make sure that you're not an opponent. Make sure you're working with your person, not against them. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Again, with the contract, I just feel like things are going to get a little bit more clear. And also, you guys are going to be talking, especially if you have a person, you're going to be talking about what you guys want and what you're going to be wanting to define the relationship. Okay? With the seek the truth, now this is an optional thing. This is not something you have to do, but just know that if you need to kind of sit down with your person and figure out where you're standing with that person, or you're trying to figure out, what do they think or feel about whatever topic, this week would be a really good week to ask them, because they're going to be very honest with you about what is truly in their hearts, okay? And you'll just basically get a whole lot of very clear communication, okay? So with the mountain and the fish, it's interesting because there's some kind of block between the two of you that has to do with abundance. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it probably is. Interestingly enough, I think the first reading also had to do with money, but it was in the opposite direction. But yeah, we've got the mountain followed by the fish. It's like there's some kind of block between the two of you because there isn't enough material, or there isn't enough money. And it feels like maybe if you're in a long distance relationship, we've got the indicator with the water here that there might be a long distance relationship going on. That's my personal indicator, of course. Just know it might be that you guys can't see each other, or maybe you guys for this week aren't able to use the internet to communicate, or something like that, because maybe somebody can't afford it, or something like. I mean, I'm making it up at this point, but it's like the idea is that there's not enough of something, and that's going to affect your relationship. There's going to be a block there, but I'm not getting that it's going to affect your relationship in a way that's devastating. No, it's just you're going to be aware of it. It's going to be fine. You're not upset about it or anything like that. It's an inconvenience, but it's not something that's horrible or anything, right? But yeah, you've got some really, really beautiful indicators here that you are exactly where you need to be with this person, and it's really nice. This has a little bittersweet feeling to it, because on the one hand, it's like good things from the past are going to be coming up a lot this week with you, whether it's synchronicities that as you're just going about your business, you are remembering some good things about either this relationship or past relationships, or from what it feels like to be in love and that kind of thing. But on the other hand, there's also this kind of aspect of the past that's going to be affecting you, like you don't want to repeat negative patterns. And just understand that what I'm getting here is, I just want to make sure I say it really well. The way that you are so cautious about making certain that you're not repeating those patterns is enough security for you to know that you're not going to do it again. It's almost like you've got to learn to trust yourself not to do that, because it's like you totally aren't going to. You're not going to mess this up. But it's like you've got to learn that you're not going to mess that up, okay? With the Page of Cups, we're just talking about kind of awkward communication, okay? But there is communication, so that's important. There is communication between you and either your person or people that could be potential relationship material, that kind of thing. But it's going to be a little awkward. And just know, I really feel it's because people are your person's going to be very honest with you, but also they're going to kind of get into their feelings a little bit more this week. So that can create some nervousness that allows for that kind of awkward communication to come out. What you need to know more is the intention behind it, which is they do want to show you that they care about you in their way, okay? It might seem very subtle to you. But what your person's doing, or what people are doing, is they're trying to show you that they care about you so that you can let them know that they're doing a good job letting you know that they care about you. So your job, basically, is to tell them that they're doing a good job, all right? I hope this reading was clear for you guys, because it kind of felt like I don't know. It felt like I was saying some things that didn't make so much sense, but hopefully this reading was clear. I told you exactly what I was getting. Regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a beautiful week with your relationship, in your love life, and I will see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the Bloodstone heart, here's your reading. We have empathy. Okay, we have a dead end here. All right. Okay, and we have a dead end because there's something new here. All right. Okay. Tower, feeling alone. It seems like somebody else is going to be taking up the time. Like especially if you have a person in mind, somebody else is going to be taking up their attention. It's going to feel really lonely. Keep that in mind. We also have this feeling that things just aren't working as well this week. It's like you have an idea of what you want to have happen, and then things are just falling through. Like they're just not happening the way that you're wanting them to, or the way that you expect them to. It feels like both you and your person, if you have a person that you're asking about specifically, are both really defensive. It's like it feels like the two of you are kind of circling each other like cats, maybe. Sometimes the imagery I get is really weird. It just feels like there's this kind of standoff, and both of you are feeling a little cranky. It feels like both of you are feeling a little bit cranky, a little defensive, like you're wondering where the other person's trying to hurt you, almost. If this describes what you are in right now, understand that you've got to give your person the benefit of the doubt, and also state to your person, I'm not trying to hurt you. So that they know that. I feel like neither one of you know that the other isn't trying to hurt you. So keep that in mind. The empathy is coming up just to really put yourself in the other person's shoes. Really think about what your person needs the most and give that to them so that you can get what you need the most. If you aren't in a relationship and you're just hoping that maybe this week will have some great things for you, towards the end of the week, sure. But I just feel like you're not going to be in a good frame of mind to be talking to new people. So I would say to hold off, at least for the first 4 or 5 days of the week. Just kind of hold off on that. And then when it gets to the last couple of days, that's when more good things are going to be coming your way. I do have this kind of anticipation still that something good's going to come. So if you, for example, if you're watching this and you have like a date or a get together next week, are coming up in about 4 or 5 days, then that's very auspicious. That's good, because whatever you're anticipating is going to end up being happening in a positive way. If you're feeling more defensive, good things might still be coming. But this defensive, you've got to get out of this defensive period. You've got to get out of this defensive moment of maybe they're like kind of feeling like you're being attacked, maybe. Some of you guys just are not going to be having a very great week, unfortunately. It's going to be very lonely. But take the time to really look at what you want, because I feel like it's so important for you guys to set out purposefully to meet your goals when it comes to love, okay? And so that's what you can be doing if you're being described by this feeling alone card. And again, the empathy is really important for everybody who's watching this. Make certain that you are being present with other people's emotions, even if you don't really understand them, or even if it's difficult for you to see from their perspective, just letting them know that you see that they are having an emotional experience and that you want to be present for that. I feel that's a really, really big lesson for you guys this week. You know, I'm not saying that you guys aren't capable of empathy. That's ridiculous. Every human is. Unless they have a severe brain disorder, right? But what I'm saying is that empathy will get you a long way this week, okay? So we have the bear followed by the tower, which kind of reiterates this feeling alone. And this is where I'm getting that some of you guys, your person's going to be having to either entertain or spend time with somebody else, or maybe a work project. The bear can also signify a boss. But the tower, it's just this loneliness, this feeling of being lonely and all by yourself. And because there's this force, this bear, which is like a force that's causing your person to not be able to reach out to you as much, okay? So if your person isn't reaching out to you and you feel a little bit defensive about that, understand there's a really good reason. If this, okay, another thing this week looks like is the kind of week where your person just flat out can't get a hold of you until the end of the week. That's another way that this is kind of playing out. So if you're in that situation where you know that you and your person aren't going to be talking, then you don't have anything to worry about. It's just letting us know that not a whole lot is going to be happening. You might be feeling kind of lonely, but by the end of the week, you're going to be fine. For the rest of you, especially if you're in contact with your person right now and you guys have been kind of having that standoff type energy, make sure that you're employing empathy, because empathy is what is going to get this to heal, okay? With the dead end, just understand that if your person's saying no, don't pursue it anymore, okay? For example, if it's you have just got to go to that ice cream shop and you want your person to take you there, or you want to take your person there, you just got to go there, and they keep saying, no, I'm really not in the mood. No, I really don't want to do that. Just go with your friend, go by yourself. You know, it's not that big of a deal. And so this is just saying, when your person says no, when your person lets you know that there's something that they don't like or they don't want, just don't pursue it, at least for the week. Because whenever you hit those dead ends, it's really important that you stop. Because again, with this kind of defensive energy, it might not even be on the surface. It might not even be something that you're seeing. It could be just under the surface where your person is kind of feeling a little defensive. Maybe they're being asked to do a lot at work, or from some kind of force. Like sometimes the bear can represent like a mother-in-law or a mother as being, you know, kind of like a mama bear force, right? So that's another thing. Just be having a lot of demands from somebody else, and they're just feeling like they don't want to have demands from you, that kind of thing. So do understand there's a lot of different ways we can read this, but the key for every single one of you is that empathy is going to heal whatever situation. And for every single one of you, there's something really good coming by the end of the week, okay? That has to do with your love relationship, okay? And it's something that's like, something you can touch. It's not just like, and sometimes people will have these ideas like, oh, this person seems to like me, but I'm not certain. But they're checking, you know, like I can check off this huge list of things that they're doing that lets me know. It's like the Ace of Pentacles is talking like, but they're actually telling you, you know, that kind of thing. So this is something that is coming from outside of yourself. It's not something that you're kind of ticking off. Like, it looks like this person likes you. It's like this person's telling you that they like you, okay? So look forward to that at the very end of the week, okay? Unfortunately, you know, I hope you guys don't feel lonely this week. I hope you feel just wonderful. But do understand that that might be something that's going on. Regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful week in your love life, and I will see you at our next reading. All right, hi, those of you who picked the black heart, here is your reading. Okay, so we have friendliness, euphoria. What is going on? Oh, interesting, you have got an end to your anxiety. Oh, this is really good. Okay, we've got the home and the ring, and then we've got dreams coming true. Wow, this is a really, really, really powerful reading. Like, I actually feel really emotional already. Okay, chances are you've been having some pretty bad weeks in love or just in general. Just getting a lot of anxiety, maybe not getting enough rest, feeling really stressed out, that kind of thing. Yet you're getting some new, like, somebody's showing you that they care about you so much. And this is a love relationship. This is somebody that either could be the kind of person that you're going to end up with, or is your person that you're thinking about. We've got the Ace of Cups, like an offering, like, I'm going to give you a piece of my heart. I'm going to give you my emotions here, and you can see that. And then we've got the sun coming out, like, you're so happy, you're feeling so good. It's just a beautiful week. It's just like the end of this pain. It's almost like this is almost like a medicine to your pain, and then you end up feeling so much better. So especially for those of you who've been having a rough time lately, you're going to really start feeling a lot better this week when it comes to love, okay? We also have, paired with the sun, we have the Euphoria card, okay? Sometimes I don't know if you guys can see the print when it's down here, but we've got Euphoria, so we even have we're even getting this indicator that you're going to be feeling great. Like, it feels really good. And then this friendliness, like, it's not even just your love life. It's like even your friends are showing you love in a way that it's speaking your language, okay? Dreams coming true. I mean, I feel like you can really manifest whatever you want this week, yet I'm actually not getting that you're having to expend very much energy to get this, okay? I'm getting that this is going to be given to you, okay? So somebody who really, really cares about you. If you went into this reading with a person in mind, that person is going to be giving you their heart this week. They're going to be letting you know, they're going to be cheering you up, letting you know that they want to express their emotions with you. It's really beautiful. Now, with the house followed by the ring, this can be an indicator that maybe your person has somebody else in their life, like maybe your person's married and they're trying to get out of that situation. So I do want to acknowledge that. For those of you who are in a third party situation, that's what could be going on. But for the rest of you, I just feel like this is like you, I mean, this is actually literally talking about somebody's inner circle. Like you are entering in that person's inner circle. They're inviting you into that most intimate area of their life. And the ring is just there to show a circle. Okay, so you know, keep in mind that sometimes the Lenormand isn't just house ring. Sometimes it's just, oh, the inner circle. Okay, I get this. You know, so I, you know, yeah. So I just feel like you are being told over and over this week, not just from your person, not just from people that you would like to maybe have a relationship with, but also from your friends, that you are so loved, and that is so important. And again, I mean, we just got this dreams coming true. I don't even want to say anything. It's just like, it's so nice. It's just, it feels so calm. And I understand that this is coming up, and it's like, well, if it's so calm, why is the Nine of Swords coming up? And it's like, it's because we gotta have some kind of context, right? If you're just getting good stuff, then that's great, right? But it's giving a context, like it's showing me a story, like there has been some anxiety, there's been some uncertainty. You've been feeling like you're in the dark lately, and it's like everything's coming to light, and you're able to move forward with like you're sure-footed and all of that kind of stuff. So it just looks beautiful. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to say about that, just because it's just so great. You know, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, and I will see you on our next reading.